Good morning, or afternoon, or evening, or whatever time you're watching this. It's the 31st of August today. I don't always like to leave these videos till the very last day of the month, but I've had such a busy month with it being the summer holidays and going away, and I almost didn't do a video for this month because I haven't really done any gardening. Apart from the usual mowing the lawn and jobs like that I don't really like. So, and the garden's looking very, very August. Like everything's overgrown. Yeah, and I'm actually starting to look forward to winding things down a bit and cutting things back. And also just tidying up a bit and getting ready for winter. But there's a lot going on between now and then. So I'll start off by showing you a lovely rose. And this is the Vanessa bell rose, which I have done many videos now on. And I wasn't sure if I was going to get another flush out of my roses, really. And I've said it before that I haven't really fed them, but I have woke up this morning to see these two lovely blooms on my Vanessa bell, which is just an absolute joy to see. And yeah, Vanessa bell is an absolutely beautiful, beautiful rose. A few buds as well, so hopefully there'll be more on the way. Another rose which hasn't really stopped, although it has definitely slowed down at points, is the Lark ascending, and I'm struggling to actually access. It's very overgrown in this area. Trying to get a closer look at some of the blooms. So this is a flush that's sort of going over now, and it's really shot up. It's really shot up, so you can see how far this stem goes, way into the sky. So yeah, so it's amazing how big this rose gets. I have got more videos on my channel if you want to see it when it's looking, when the roses are in the peak, at their peak. So yeah, take a look. But I can't believe how big that's got, and that's just in a few months. Well, a couple of months really. I went away on holiday and came back and noticed that massive stem. It's definitely looking like late summer over in this corner because my Heliantus lemon queen is in flower. This is a perennial sunflower, and it was here when we moved in, which was over 6 years ago now. I've never done anything to it. I cut it back after, usually in the winter. I cut it back and then it just grows back each year without me having to do anything. And yeah, I think it's lovely actually, and it fills this space really nicely. So yeah, that's just getting into its stride now. Definitely one for the back of the border because of its size really, or yeah, works well in a corner like this, I think. Yeah, so one of those plants that is just easy and is reliable and has quite good impact. I've got a couple of Astrantia flowers down here. My Astrantia didn't do too well. It was a bit smothered by other plants for much of the year, and I've cut a lot of stuff back here so I can see them a bit better now. I should cut them really because they're amazing cut flowers. But yeah, I'm enjoying having them in the border. And I've noticed something on this Appletini tree just a few minutes ago, and I have one Appletini apple. Oops. So I don't know, how do I know? I've never had any apples of this. I've no idea if it's ready. So these are like miniature apples, kind of like a crab apple, but they are eating apples. So yeah, there is my first Appletini apple. How exciting. I might leave it until my son gets back and ask him to do a little taste test. But yeah, really, really happy to see that. It's a shame there aren't more, but hopefully I'll get more next year. Quite a nice little apple tree as well, I think. So that's good. This Persicaria, I showed you it last time and it only had a few little blooms on. And I said that I wasn't overly keen on it. And I feel a bit differently now because I think with this Persicaria, it's one of those plants that looks good sort of when it's en masse or when it's, you know, taking over a larger space. So, you know, just a couple flowers aren't really going to have much impact, but yeah, it's got quite a nice effect now. So yeah, quite pleased with that. I do see other types of Persicaria though, like the red ones and the pinky ones, and I think, oh, they're nicer. But yeah, the Alba is still doing quite well for now. I'm really excited to see my Sedum budding up nicely, because Sedum is one of my favourite plants in the border. I just think it's gorgeous. I've always had a bit of a thing for succulents, and I think it's a textural thing. And I think they look gorgeous as well, especially, well, in all stages really, when they first start emerging from the ground in the early spring and they're covered in raindrops, and when they start budding up they have these lovely green buds. And you know, now they're turning pink because the flowers are going to open soon. So they're just a great plant, and really, apart from doing a Chelsea chop to keep them in check and keep their sort of form, you don't have to do anything with them. They can cope with, you know, drought, cold, heat. They're just workhorses really, and really beautiful. Next to that I've got some Rudbeckia Marmalade, which I grew from seed. I am very fond of Rudbeckia. I'm not sure this colour works that well in my border with the other colours, to be honest. I think I need to rethink my colours a bit next year. I might go for Sahara again. So I do love this colour, but I just don't know if it works well with the other things here. I've got my Hypericum. This is a variety, I can't remember exactly what it was called, but it was like sunrise or sunset or something, and it has these lovely peachy, pinky berries on it, which are really nice. I occasionally use them in cut flower arrangements. You have to strip the leaves off, and then once you've done that you have some lovely berries to include in your bouquets. And it self-seeds as well a lot, which I didn't realise, but it's not a problem. I like the way it kind of fills in, and I've noticed that, like the sedum, it's a perennial that kind of spreads and fills the spaces really nicely. So yeah, pleased about that. I've noticed also a few buds on my Just Joey Rose, which is really exciting, and I'm going to give everything a bit of a feed today. So hopefully we'll get some lovely orange Just Joey flowers. And next to that I've got this wonderful Verbena bonariensis, which has done so well. It's been blooming for weeks and weeks now, and it's just a wonderful plant. It's looked really nice next to the pink Queen of Sweden roses as well, I think. So yeah, so pleased with that. Continuing with the roses, I have got a few Queen of Sweden in bloom at the moment. It's a second flush, or is it a third flush possibly on this one? Sorry, I find the colour quite hard to pick up on this camera when the light is shining directly on something. But yeah, I've got some, these buds are just opening. I can see a few more buds, so that's nice. Yeah, Queen of Sweden's done okay this year, actually. It has really grown. It's getting into its stride now, and it's really gained some height as well. My Simple Life rose, this is the climbing rose here. It had a really good flush, and then I didn't really deadhead it very much, and I've not really had many flowers since then, so that's a bit disappointing, but it is my own fault. And you can see I've got loads of lovely rose hips coming, so that's good. Because even though the garden is, I look at it and think, wow, it's a mess, and feel, you know, like it's a burden on me in some ways, because I can't keep up with it all, I can't keep on top of it. It does feel very much like a wildlife garden at the moment, because I've got so many birds, I've got so much food for the birds, and they're definitely coming in and making the most of it. I've got some sunflower heads, which I chopped off. I put my bird seed down here, over there, and I'm seeing a lot of birds. I also had a little visitor yesterday in the garden, and I'll include the video of that next. I'm really excited because we've got a little resident in our garden, and it was just in this this is just like a little bowl that I use as a bird bath, and I thought it was a slug in it. I went to pick it up to sort of move it out of the way to do something, and I thought, oh, there's a slug in it, and I looked closer and realised there's actually a tiny newt. I've just mowed the lawn as well, so there's a few little grass cuttings that have flown into the water, so I hope it's alright. I put a few little pebbles in there, look. So I'm just really excited by this. I've never had a newt in the garden before. And you know, I've got the pond, a little barrel pond, but I haven't seen any in there. I've just found this little chap in the bird bath. So I hope that he's going to stay, he or she or they. I hope they're going to stay here and be very happy. If anyone's got any advice on how to keep newts happy, please let me know. He looks like he's just kind of floating there. And I put some little pebbles in case he needs to, like, you know, cling on to them, but he doesn't seem to be doing much, so I hope they're okay. Try and get a bit closer. Ooh. So yeah, just wanted to show you that. We'll have a quick look in the greenhouse, and it is mostly chilies in here. I think that's Orange Wonder. I think that's Orange Wonder too, but I'm not quite sure why those chilies are growing upwards and those chilies are growing down. So I don't know. I don't know if they are actually indeed two different varieties, but I don't remember sowing seeds for two different varieties that were like this. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see how they go, but I think they look quite nice. Yeah, I've got some Aji Mango. It was Aji Mango, yes it was, yeah. So that's really exciting to see some chilies on my Aji Mango plants. I've got 2 of those. Never tried them before. I think they're going to be quite hot, so I don't know. And I think with my chilies I'm going to have a go at making chili jam this year, because I do really like that. There is my Numex pumpkin spice, which is growing along nicely. I mean, it looks a bit like just a jalapeno, so I hope that it isn't. I think it's a jalapeno variety, the Numex pumpkin spice, so hopefully it will turn orange and taste really good. What else have I got? Got my vampire chilies, which I showed you in the last video. They're still black. They will ripen to red eventually. This one looks better actually. Yeah, it is a pretty cool looking chili plant, isn't it? yeah, really pleased with that. Not quite pleased that I've got so many of them, because I just feel like this year's been a bit chaotic, and I just feel like the plants have run away with me and I haven't kept on top of them. So for example, the tomatoes, I've got some tomatoes outside, I've got some in here, and I just haven't been cutting the side shoots off enough, and I haven't supported them enough. But next year I'm going to try the string method where I attach strings from the top. So yeah, I'm determined to do better next year. And here I've got a pepper plant, that's Lemon Dream. So we've got some nice sized peppers on there, which I know will taste really nice. And this is something I'm very excited about. This is a Gloriosa lily, and it's, yeah, a lime coloured one. I bought the tuber, I think February time, and planted it in the spring. And it took a really long time to get going, actually. But now I can see it's growing quite quickly, and it looks like there may even be some flower buds. So I'm so excited for that, because the flowers look gorgeous. I tried to grow it before and it didn't work out, so it'd be great if it does this time. Here are some more tomatoes, and you can see how well, or how poorly rather, I have supported them. However, so this is a variety called, oh, that looks ripe actually, called Indigo Rose. And the tomatoes are bigger, because I've got cherry tomatoes and I've got this variety. Yeah, this just collapsed basically. It wasn't supported well enough. I've still got loads of tomatoes on it, so I should still get a good harvest. But yeah, it looks pretty, the tomatoes do. I haven't tasted them yet, so that'll be interesting. Yeah, and there's some more Sungold cherry tomatoes, which are, yeah, they're really good. I think they're quite a common variety, but I've never grown them before. To finish off the video, I thought I'd show you these tomatoes in case anyone's interested. So here are the Sungold cherry tomatoes, which are just gorgeous. And this is the Indigo Rose variety, and apparently you can tell when it's ripe because that'll turn red, that bit there. So I've only got one that's actually ripe. This one's close to being ripe. So I'm just going to make myself a little salad for lunch. I've got some homemade hummus and some couscous, and I was just thinking I really wish I had some feta cheese, because I've just been on holiday in Catalonia and I feel like I'm having feta cheese withdrawal symptoms at the moment. But yeah, it's just going to be a basic tomato salad. But I thought I'd show you what this looks like inside. So apparently the Indigo Rose is meant to be really good for you. I think it's got the same things that blueberries have in. And it looks very beautiful. I think they're a little more tart, but I'll give it a go. So I'm going to have a little try. Wish me luck. It's quite nice. It is a little tart. But yeah, not overly so. It's nice. Yeah, I like it. I guess some people like really sweet tomatoes. If you like really sweet tomatoes, these are brilliant. Yeah, I suppose they're a little bit plummy tasting, but yeah, I like them. I'm pleased.